My name is Vanessa Willardson with BYU-Idaho Radio, and today joining me in the studio is Rob Hibbard. He is the director of A Christmas Carol with the Rexburg Community Theater. Thank you so much for joining me today, Rob.
You're welcome, Vanessa. I'm very happy to be here and give you a heads up on what we've been doing with the community theater here this fall.
Awesome. So tell me a little bit about rehearsal. How long have you been rehearsing this production for?
Well, we started the first week of October this year. We had auditions in late September, and then we started with 2 rehearsals a week, Tuesday, Wednesday. Then a few weeks in, we added Thursday rehearsals. And now this week and next week, we'll have 4 or 5, depending on if I can find some rehearsal space. That's always a challenge when you don't have your own venue. You have to find somewhere where somebody is benevolent enough to let them use your space.
Awesome. So how many hours a week is that?
Initially, we were rehearsing about 2 hours a night, and now we're closer to 3. Closer you get, the more time it takes. You add, costuming, and this next week we'll be adding the technical portion, which is microphones and lighting effects and sound effects. So it just takes time because you have to put all those things in, and the actors have to get used to them, and so it just takes time. Time is always a big deal when you're doing theater.
So would that be about 15 hours a week now?
Yeah, we're going to be close to that this week, and then next week will be more than that because we'll rehearse Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then of course the show opens on Thursday night and goes Friday night and Saturday night. And then on Monday afternoon, we strike the set. Most people don't realize it. It takes, a great deal of people behind the scenes doing things as well as what's going on stage to put a show together.
Yeah, with this set, it's A Christmas Carol. So one of the things that I was actually pretty curious about is, are there any special effects with the set? What has it been like putting together the set?
It's a pretty straightforward set. It's a multiple settings, because we go back into Scrooge's early life, and then we go to Christmas present and then Christmas future. But it's a pretty straightforward set, but we do have a few wrinkles in it this year that a friend of mine, Neil Smith, is helping me with to put together that'll make it a little more fun. I wouldn't call it magic, but I would call it something that is different without saying too much and giving it away.
You don't want too many spoilers.
No, don't want any spoilers.
Yeah. What was the audition process like for the actors going into it?
We asked them to prepare a song because we have caroling included in the production. Caroling is used to help bring about mood, but it's also used as a transition device from one scene to another because, like I said, there are multiple places we go in Christmas Carol during the show's about 2 hours. And so, so we had them sing, and then I had portions of the script online on the RCT website that they could go to and choose what role they wanted to audition for and choose the appropriate script for the character they were trying out for.
Yeah, I think I know one of your cast members. My boss here at the radio station, Brandon Isle, you might be familiar. He's playing Jacob Marley.
Yes, I'm very familiar. I'm very familiar with Brandon, and Brandon has been a wonderful man to work with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were talking about like the stage makeup that is involved with the Christmas Carol because he has to look like Jacob Marley, so you have all the ghost makeup. Has that been difficult to try to figure out how to do that, or what has that been like?
Not too bad. The lady who's heading up makeup Her name is Tia Peck. She actually has done makeup for quite a while, and she actually helped with doing my makeup when I played Jacob Marley. Oh gosh, it was 6 or 7 years ago now. We try to do Christmas Carol every other year, and so that year I played Jacob Marley, and I was in the makeup chair for like 2 hours, uh, getting things ready for 10 minutes on stage. So Brandon is going through basically the same thing. He is dead. And so we have to make him look that way, and he's, covered with chains that he drags around with him. So his is a very colorful character to look at on stage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was so curious how the makeup artists would make that happen, but yeah, it sounds
Well,
like
it's called latex. If you know anything about makeup, latex is it's a liquid that you put on, and when it dries, you can mold it to look differently. So what we basically do is we put it on his face, and I think she's putting it on his hands to make his skin look like it's dried, mottled, rotting, whatever you want to say. So that's the secret. There is latex. It's like I said, a liquid makeup.
you said that the theater has been doing a Christmas Carol every other year. Do you know how long that's been a tradition for?
Probably a good 10 to 15 years.
Wow.
I'd have to go back and look. It's been a long time, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah. Are there any things that the theater does specifically that are unique to the theater when they put together a Christmas Carol?
Well, what's kind of unique to this one is it is a version that I staged. So when you look at the playbill, the program, you'll notice that it says adapted for the stage by Robert B. Hibbard. I have been in several productions of A Christmas Carol, and so many of them add characters or language that did not come from Charles Dickens, and that always really bothered me, because if you read the story, it's beautiful in and of itself. And so when I decided to go about staging it way back, writing it up back in 2016, I wanted to stick to the Dickens characters and the Dickens language as 99 to 100%. And so that's what I've done. And so that's kind of unique. We don't generally do more original type stuff, although we did Omar Hansen's This Castle Needs a Good Scouring 2 summers ago, which is something that he wrote. So we do delve into it some, but most of the time, you choose a play and somebody else wrote it, somebody else, owns the rights to it. And so that's what you do. For instance, next summer we'll be staging Mary Poppins, which of course was a big Disney show.
Is this the first time that you've directed a Christmas Carol?
Yes. Yes, it is the first time I've directed it. I have been in it twice, but this is the first time I've directed it.
Does it kind of give you a new perspective on the story?
Always does. Always does. As an actor, you're focused on, your role. You need to focus on the whole story too, but, most of the time you focus on what you're doing. As a director, of course, you've got your hands in all of the pots, with lighting and set and sound effects. And for me, of course, it's very personal because, I did all of the staging that goes on in the show and, helped select the music along with our music director, Holly Slack. And so, it's more up close and personal for the director because they're involved in every aspect of it. And like I said, because I staged it, it's kind of my baby.
Mm-hmm. It's your baby. I love that.
Yes, it's my baby.
Are there any parts from the play that stand out to you personally?
Well, my favorite scene is the Jacob Marley scene. because Jacob appears to Scrooge, and Scrooge is, really shaken by seeing, somebody who's dead. And
Yeah.
then telling him, you need to change your ways, my friend, so you will be haunted by these ghosts. And Scrooge, of course, is very reticent about wanting to do that, but he doesn't really have a choice. Once he's seen the ghosts and has gone through the process, then he has a choice to make, whether he's going to change his life or continue to live it that way. And so Jacob sets that in. It's called the initial incident, where we set up the plot. And it's just a cool scene. And having played Jacob Marley, it's cool because I love that character.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and you've played it before, and so that character probably holds a lot of value to you.
It does. It does.
Have there ever been any moments in rehearsal where things just like came together and clicked, and or are there any moments from rehearsal that stand out to you?
Yes, yeah, there have been. Like, for instance, last night we were rehearsing, and we rehearsed Act One, and that takes you from Jacob Marley telling Scrooge he'll be haunted through the ghost of Christmas past, and you look at the past of Scrooge, and it gives you an idea of where he came from. And last night it was really kind of magical because the emotion was there. The technical aspect that we've got ready was there. All of these elements combined to help tell the story. It's not just Ebenezer Scrooge. All of these other things have to happen in order for it to affect people in the way we want it to. And that happened last night.
Wow. Well, how exciting. Where can audience members buy tickets?
You can go to the RCT website. It's rct.org. If you just type in Rexburg Community Theater, it'll come up. And they can buy their tickets online. They're general admission tickets.
How much do these tickets cost?
$10 and $12, I think. And then I think they're more at the door. And we're performing at Madison Junior High School, which is actually where I taught for the first 5 years when I was here in Rexburg.
The Madison Junior High School. They have a really nice theater.
It's a good theater. It's not as fancy as the high school's theater, but they have made a lot of improvements and continue to upgrade. The district, I can say with utter confidence, is very committed to the arts and support of the arts, and not just for the high school students, but they've been very willing to help out outside groups coming in and let them be a part and use their facilities. So they've been very good to work with.
Well, that's terrific. And this will just be from the 12th to the 14th. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah, 3 nights. The auditorium holds about 600 people, and so we're hoping to fill that baby up every night.
Okay. Awesome. Wow. Well, are there any other things you would like to add about the play or A Christmas Carol?
It's a universal story. It's one for everybody because all of us have a little bit of Ebenezer Scrooge in us. And it's not just concerning Christmas. It's just about living our lives just overall. We can be good people or we can be not good people. And A Christmas Carol, I think, helps us to understand that being a good person, not only makes your life more happy, but if you believe in the afterlife, if you have a belief in God, then you know that the things you do here on earth matter and matter in the eternities. So that's why I love the story so much. That's why I decided to do what I did with it.
Thank you so much for sharing, Rob, and thank you so much for joining me in the studio today. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate you too, Vanessa.